So you guys have entered the midnight black walls, gem-studded walls of Velshani, and the gates grind to a close behind you, and you're met by a tall elf wearing heavy armor and a slender sword at his belt. And he says, I'm surprised that gate opened. It's been a long time since we've had any travelers through that way. Tell me, what is your business here in Velshani?
We're mostly just rolling through.
Transients, eh? Yes, we've had a fair number of those lately. And he kind of waves his hand off to the north. Not a surprise, what with all of the activity in the area, drawing people to the only safe havens left. As you can see, we have guards in this area protecting the walls, and he points up to a handful of guards, elven guards that you see atop the black wall. There's a couple that are in a deep state trance, a couple that are just sitting and playing dice together, and then a couple more that are actively walking the wall and watching for trouble. They're the two that you saw as you approached the city gate. He says, well, if you're just moving through, I'd suggest using the north gate on your way out, or you can go to Thick Lake and take a boat up the river if you'd like.
I don't like boats. I don't trust them.
Well, you're not the only one. There are plenty of people who insist on traveling only by foot, but traveling by foot isn't necessarily safe in these times either.
And no, that's absolutely true. You're going to want to alert your men that perhaps a couple days, more or less, down the road, there's a large number of undead, presumably moving their way this way.
And we've been having all manner of undead throw themselves against our walls, but they've just been keeping us awake for the most part, and not anything that we can't handle, so we'll reassign some guards over to this side, just in case.
I think you need to have more than a few guards. The undead come like waves upon the ocean.
We've had those waves crash against our northern walls, and to no effect. I'm sure it will be the same with the undead that follow you.
You would be wise not to underestimate them.
A lich is the source of them. A lich should not be underestimated.
Hubris is the death of civilizations.
I see. Well, fortunately, I see one of the wizards coming now. Just a moment, and you can speak with him directly. And as you're standing at the gate, you see a rotund elf making his way along the roads. He's still a fair distance away, and instead of making a straight line towards you across the grass, he's following a curved road that comes back to your position, and he's huffing and puffing by the time he gets to you, and he says, welcome newcomers to Velshani. I'm sorry it took me a little while to get here. I'm not as quick as I used to be. My name is Hender the Seeker, and who might you be?
I'm Skippy.
I'm Fredwin. My friends call me Freddy, but you can call me Fredwin.
Go ahead, King Grun.
No, just introduced you. We're in soft time.
This is Canary. My name is Gaelen.
Don't call me Ken.
You may wish to speak with King Fredwin, as this gentleman implied that you were a wizard.
Are you a wizard then, Fredwin?
I used to be.
Used to be. Strange. I haven't run into many people who have given up the vocation.
We're just sort of in between things right now. It's just kind of been a rough year for me.
As it has been for many. Should you wish to return to the wizarding ways, we do have the tower nearby. Certainly can't miss it. It is a grand spectacle, even amongst the elves. And of course, if you do wish to come to the tower, we have tests that we can run and provide you with elven ranks, and you can meet fellow wizards and discuss all manner of magical theory to your heart's content.
Perhaps. I'll give it a thought.
It had crossed my mind, King Fredwin, that you may wish to spend some time in the libraries,
Maybe.
researching liches and such.
Just kind of been out of sorts. Lost my friend. My other friend's hurting, and it's been rough.
I wish I had better news for you, but the city appears to be full of hurting people at the moment, so perhaps you can draw some comfort from those who need it, and they can offer you comfort as well. I'm sorry to hear that your travels have been difficult, but Velshini has stood for thousands of years, and I'm sure will stand for many more.
Yes, I'm sure the people who built those ruins that we walked through thought their stuff would stand for thousands of years as well.
You speak of Selosita?
Hmm.
Yes, well, uh, Velshini is much better grounded than a flying city. Magic failing won't affect the city's survival. However, we are protected by the powers of Corlin and the Wizard Tower, so I anticipate no difficulties, although there have been troubling rumors from outsiders, refugees, who have been speaking of the gods going quiet, but Corlin remains strong where others have fallen.
Lucky you.
Is there any place in the city that we can stay?
I've already planned on that, Skippy. We've been on the road for the better part of a month, and we have had almost no time to catch breath. So I think we're going to go and do that.
Very well. I would recommend the Unicorn Tail Inn up to the north by the North Gate. Excellent food and drink there, and you could also find good rooms and baths, perhaps, if such a thing were to strike your fancy.
Yes, all those things sound wonderful. We are in need of some R&R.
Very well. I shall return to the Tower of Arcane Majesty, and I look forward to speaking with you again, Fredwin, should you wish to rekindle your love of the arcane.
Very well. Maybe.
And so he heads off the same way that he came. Now that nobody is standing before you, drawing your attention, you get a look at the city around you. Unlike Korthun, which was mostly covered in sand, the city of Velshini is mostly covered in grass that is all perfectly kept. There are certainly trees in the area, some of them jungle, some of them foreign. There are all manner of jungle animals wandering about freely, and the buildings themselves that you can see are akin to the spires that you saw in Selosita, but they are more varied. Rather than the golden spires that you saw in that city that all had a similar appearance, every building here is different in shape. Near you, Gaelen can point out the barracks, and you can see that it's made up of several spires, all of them finished with a kind of a spiral decoration on the outside that makes it look like a cluster of unicorn horns reaching into the sky. And to the north, there's the Grove of the Storm, where there are actual natural trees clustered in the area. Just beyond those trees, you can see where Hender the Seeker is headed, the Tower of Arcane Majesty, and it reaches up into the sky with other spires splitting from the main stalk, so that it appears like a giant leafless tree. And there are many, many other spired buildings in the area as well.
Well, it looks like Velshini is as beautiful as it always was.
So where are we going to stay, Gaelen?
Oh, there's exactly like that noble wizard said. There's the Corny Horse's Tail in the north.
Hopefully they still have rooms available. It sounds like the city might be full.
The city in the area that you're in right now actually looks fairly empty. You don't see a lot of elves walking the streets. You don't see much of anything else either. But as you head north towards the inn, after you pass the Grove of the Storm, you do see that where there had been empty lawns in the south, there are tent cities set up here, and they stretch as far as the eye can see, with all manner of peoples gathered together.
Skippy, I think that there's a decent chance that the inn and tavern will have rooms. I'm thinking most of these refugees have not enough money for those kind of stays.
Where are they staying?
The refugees. It appears that they've set up tent camps.
And so you continue to the north, and you see all of these people, and they're also camped around spire buildings. Some Gaelen remembers having been empty in the past, the families having either moved away or died out centuries ago, and you see them filled with life once more. And you approach the Unicorn Tail Inn. Unlike the other buildings you've seen that have been tall, reaching spires, this one's more of a cylinder in shape. It doesn't reach a pointed peak at the top. And you see that there are people camped outside, and there are elves bringing plates of food from the inn out to the people who are scattered across the lawns. It's obvious that nobody's going hungry here, as nobody's gathering round or fighting for the food that's being brought out. It's all done in a very orderly way. And you come to the Unicorn Tail Inn. There's no guards out front or anything. You can see the north gate from here, and it does stand closed. And where the southern gate had just a handful of elves at it, there are a lot of elves up top here, and you can see some of them drawing back their bows and firing over the wall into the distance.
Like not just in practice.
Probably not.
From the top of the wagon, I can't see over the walls.
No.
Can I scale the inn a little, enough to see over?
You can give me an athletics or acrobatics check to climb the wall. Yeah.
Did we see any sort of infirmary area that was set up for refugees?
You didn't see anything specific. There were just tents, but nothing really stood out as an infirmary.
Okay. Grun would probably also like to check out the wall where the fighting is.
Okay. You can also give me an athletics or acrobatics check then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're having difficulty finding handholds for your larger orcish fingers, but you watch Gaelen scale the wall with ease. Yeah, you look over and you can see there are not a lot, but a few shambling figures coming towards the city, and the archers are cutting them down as they approach.
But not and nowhere near like a horde. It's just a few.
No. Yeah, like over the length of the wall, you might see a dozen or more zombies that are slowly making their way forward, and none of them are getting anywhere, even close to the wall.
Okay, I'll head back down. So they do seem to have some undead coming, not an alarming number. I may want to spend some time on the wall giving them a hand. But first, let me dip in here and see if we can secure lodging and food, and a hot bath sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, so you head into the inn. There are plenty of people at the tables in here. It's quite noisy, but when you find the innkeeper, he says that they certainly have rooms to spare. No problem at all. Like you said, I suspected most of the people outside didn't have 2 coins to rub together when they came, so they're just happy to have tents and food provided for them, safety of the walls. But if you are a paying customer, he's very happy to have you.
So Gaelen will pay him for room and board for 5, and set up a tab for at the bar.
Okay. He takes a coin and thanks you very much, and make sure that there's a table clear for you guys to sit down and have a hot meal.
Oh, and hot baths for everybody too.
Yes, those come with the rooms. Not a problem.
Excellent. Thank you. I'll let everyone know, and I'll go back out. All right, everyone. We have lodging, food, drink, as much as you'd like. This tavern is a very good one, a very fun one. There'll be good music. Perhaps we can find some time to relax, recover.
I'm going to shoulder my pack and grunt and head into the building.
Okay.
There are hot baths included, So should we all settle in, have a good hot bath, and then maybe meet up for supper or something?
Grun's gonna go look for a hospital area or something. Anyone, if there's any wounded or anything, they
I'm
need
gonna go
to
in
get
with
first.
Ariadna.
Okay. Skippy, what are you doing?
I'm going to go into the inn, and I'm taking Jinxie with me.
Yeah, they don't even bat an eye when you bring Jinxie into the inn with you. Animals seem to have free reign in the city.
Excellent.
And Gaelen, are you heading in for a bath as well?
Yeah, I think so. And secure some of our stuff into the room.
Okay. Grun, you head back into the tent city, and you see that there are hundreds upon hundreds of people here of all walks of life, humans, halflings, gnomes, elves, half-elves, and even the odd half-orc. And as you make your way through asking about an infirmary, they do point you towards a cluster of tents off in the distance. And there you find some elven healers taking care of wounded refugees.
How badly wounded are the refugees?
It ranges. There are a few people with some minor cuts and bruises, and there are a couple of people who are laying down with heavy bandages around their wounds.
Okay, how many heavily wounded people would you say there are then?
3 people that you can see.
3 heavily wounded, and okay. Then I will spend 10 minutes and use Prayer of Healing. I'll choose the 6 most wounded people, and they'll heal 2d8 plus spellcasting modifier.
Okay. So you perform this ritual of healing in the middle of the infirmary, and when you're done, 6 people stand up with their wounds completely healed, and they cry out that it's a miracle. And even the cleric of Corlin that's in here looks to you with wide eyes and an appreciative smile.
No miracle, just recompense.
Well, we appreciate the healing all the same. Our clerics are spread thin, and while we do our best to heal the injured magically when we can, we eventually do run out of spells and require the old-fashioned way with bandages.
Of course. Do you know of anyone else in the city in need of some help? I have spells left for the day. I would like to put them to good use.
Certainly. There are other tents in this cluster that will likely have people injured. Thankfully, we don't get too many badly injured people making their way here. The undead are usually fairly easily overrun over short distances.
That is good. Please let me know if any of the wounded were directly attacked by any undead. There is still a chance something could happen.
Oh, everyone who is in here who is injured was directly attacked by an undead.
Then okay, now sorry, this I just can't remember now. Did people who got attacked by the undead, they did not turn unless they died, correct? Or does Grun know that?
They had to roll.
Oh, okay, I couldn't remember what. Yeah.
Yeah, they had Constitution saving throws, and if they failed one, the wounds became necrotic and blackened, and if they failed another one, then they turned.
Okay, so then Grun, while he's doing this, would be watching for any necrotic wounds while he's going through these tents. Check on. If he saw anything, he'd quietly bring the attention to the other priests and inform them of what he knew about progression.
Yes, they have noticed this in the past. Their histories have been very well written with regards to how to deal with the undead plagues, and so they have been ensuring that anybody who shows signs of necrosis has been treated with restoration spells to remove that first, which is why there have been so many that still remain with with injuries because they're making sure that the plague doesn't spread as their top priority.
Oh, excellent. Then yeah, Grun will just kind of continue going around to the various tents, casting healing as needed.
You find no shortage of people to cast your healing spells on, and they're all extremely thankful for your help.
When he does run out of spells, Grun will return a bath.
So you return to the inn, and as you start heading up to your room, the others have finished bathing and
Whoa. Who signed up for bathing?
Well, you said you were following Gaelen and he was going for a bath.
Well, he'll take a total 180-degree turn as soon as he realizes he's walking into a bath. He knows what happens in there.
It's a private bath.
So happy.
No, not that kind of thing. People get clean in there.
That's the general idea, yeah?
Kin Skippy, don't you think you should enjoy a nice hot bath?
How could I enjoy that?
Well, you sit in the water and enjoy it.
Bathing's for the birds. I'm going to my room.
Galen's secured you a nice room with a bath in there. You can smell the flowery perfumes in the water as you enter.
I'll look at the bath. I'll look at Jinxie. I'll look at the bath. I'll look at Jinxie. Just a second, I'm trying to roll something, but I don't have my character sheet up yet.
No worries.
Oh, and my browser decided to lock up on me. Trevor, if you have access to my character sheet, can you roll animal handling for me?
You're welcome.
Okay, keep in mind, there's no such thing as a critical fail on skill checks.
Chew is still really, really bad.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's really going to try hard at it. So by the end of it, he's probably soaked. Jinxie's probably soaked. And the innkeeper's probably wondering why there's water coming from the ceiling.
You know what? You rolled so badly that Jinxie isn't soaked at all. But you're right that Skippy is.
Oh,
Skippy's never been so clean.
oh, I got the perfume on me too.
You sure did.
Oh,
I like to think at one point your head ended up somehow submerged, and that's like the cleanest view from like chin.
yeah, I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah, maybe in part of the struggle, Jinxie doused you in the tub, and turned it around on you.
Held me under the water for a little while.
That's a great image. So you do wind up mostly clean.
Damn
You
it.
were wondering what the next piece of art should be?
Right. So Grun gets to the inn around the same time that everybody else is finished cleaning. And what are you guys going to do?
Grab food.
Yeah, I'll clean up and have dinner with everybody.
I will make my way down to the tavern as well, but I make no effort to clean myself up. I'm just sopping wet and looking like a drowned rat when I come down. Jinxie looks great though.
Perfect. Ari and Freddie, are you going to come downstairs to have a meal?
I'm not sure. How do you feel, Harry?
I don't know. I'm not so sure about this separate rooms thing either.
If you'd like to share a room, you certainly can.
Gaelen gets an ale before he gets his food.
That's no problem.
So we're going to hang out in my room.
Okay, I'm going to get room service.
Yeah, if that's a thing. If not, I will go down and get food and bring it back up.
That wasn't set up in advance, so you can go down to the common room and order some food up. Gaelen and Skippy are at the table. Grun's still getting settled in his room. And Ari, when you come down into the common room, you see an elf staring at you. He's standing kind of in the middle of the room, and he had been just kind of scanning the room, but he's locked eyes on you now. You can see that he wears an amulet of Coralline over his breastplate, and yeah, he's just staring
Wait, I'm sorry. He's staring at who?
at you when you come down to get food figured out.
Okay. I mean, not to be vain here, but my charisma's reasonably high. I'm sure I've been stared at before.
That's totally fair. Yeah, so the innkeeper says, "Oh, yeah, it's no problem at all to bring some food up to you and your friend. It's already all been paid for, so no worries."
Great. I'm going to go back upstairs.
Before you head up there, you see that the elf that had been staring at you is moving on an intercept course as you head towards the stairs.
I'm going to give him my not interested look, which I am told can stop traffic here in the real world.
Nice. Well, he gives you an interested look, and as he comes closer, he's suddenly stopped as a burly orc gets in his path and puts a hand on his chest and says, "Not right now, Aurelius. I'll handle this one." When he turns towards you, you see your Uncle Clor.
Well, now I'm going to put on my shocked face. What are you doing here?
Well, as my father used to say, go fight. And Velshini seems to be the place where the fighting is. So here I am. I might ask the same question of you, Ari.
Seems I have been on a mission of fools.
He stops and he looks at you closely before saying, "I know that look, although it's a stranger on your face. You've come to see the world, haven't you, dear one?
I suppose so.
I blame myself for this. You're not the first, and probably not the last. I know I've traveled the world and told many young ones fantastic tales of adventure and often left out the worst parts to thinking that I was sparing the children. I never really imagined that any of them would try to follow in their old Uncle Clor's footsteps. I feel sorrow for you and the others who have adventured in these times when darkness is thick upon the land."
I don't know that you need to feel sorrow for me, but I do have things to do, so if you'll excuse me now.
Of course, I'm staying here as well, so if you wish to speak at some point, I'm all ears.
I'm going to go back up to my room.
Okay. Gaelen and Skippy, your food comes to the table, and they also bring some meat for Jinxie, who curls up under the table at Skippy's feet and starts munching away.
So, who's talking to Ari there?
I have no idea.
At the mention of Ares' name, you see the orc turn his head towards you and cock an eyebrow.
I'll kind of look sheepishly and kind of hide under my hair and kind of look back at Galen and say, "Is he still looking at me?"
Gaelen will look over.
Yeah, now he's looking at you, Gaelen.
No, now he's looking at me.
Oh, good. And he'll start eating.
Maybe you should look, see if he's looking at you now.
Is he looking at me?
No, he's lost interest in the two of you and has gone to sit down at another table.
I was close.
It didn't really look like he was picking a fight. I hope he wasn't hitting on her. That would be a mistake.
Yeah, I don't think she's in the mood for that right now. Is she going to be okay?
Honestly, Kin Skippy, I have no idea. Why are you soaking wet?
It's Jinxie's fault. Now I smell like perfume. Where did Grun go?
Grun went to do what Grun always does. Take care of people.
So what are we doing here? Like, I mean in Velshini. Like, do we have a plan?
I think just at the moment, it's uncoiling. We're all very wound up. It's not good for any of us.
Well, you said to the mage that, or the wizard, that we were not going to be staying in town. So do you know where we're going? I thought we were coming here to give the book to them.
It's entirely possible. I don't know. One way or another, I will be moving on. I won't be staying here. Not long. But I think there's a decent chance that our journey isn't terminating here. I feel like this book probably needs to go further.
Why do you not want to stay here?
I lost interest in Velshini many, many years ago. I'll be happy to move on again.
Oh.
I will need to make one visit while I'm here. It occurs to me if I don't make myself present at my mother's, that might hurt her feelings. So I will need to do that.
You got a mother? That's all. I never thought about you having a mother.
Don't you have a mother?
Nope. Well, I mean, I did once, but not for a long time.
Ken Skippy, I'm so sorry. Did you lose your mother?
No, she left. I didn't lose her.
All right then.
And at this point, Grun is done cleaning up in his room. Are you going to join them for dinner, Grun?
Yep.
Okay. So Gaelen and Skippy, you see Grun show up at the table.
How did it go, Ken Grun?
Well, there were quite a few wounded. Managed to mend up some of the worst of them. The city is rather well versed in the signs of people turning and been rather vigilant in watching out for it. It's a very good sign.
Yeah, I thought I'd feel more safe when I got here, but I don't feel very safe.
I don't think right now there are very many places that do feel safe in the world.
You should feel safe, Ken Skippy. I have not let you die yet.
Well, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, I thought that the city would give me a feeling of being safe again, but this place doesn't. It feels like a death trap. They don't have enough people to fight what's coming.
That may be true. Ken Grun, you may wish to keep your eyes open for this orcish fellow across the way. He's been looking at us, and he had a few words with Ariadna.
Did they speak for long?
No, hardly.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ari wouldn't share anything with me right now. I've not exactly done my best by her.
Is that why she's so mad? Did you do something to her?
I failed to inform her of the cause behind the disappearance of the Silver Flame. Too caught up in my own issues, my own troubles, to remember her own, and as such, I feel that brought her great pain, and I do not really know how to approach her to even attempt to make amends.
I hear girls like flowers.
I hear they do as well, but I feel that the intention behind those flowers is not the one suited for the tone I wish to convey.
Ken Fredwin seems to think that she will need time. That makes sense to me. I wouldn't beat myself up too much if I were you, Ken Grun. You did make a mistake in not sharing a piece of information, but Kinari had already made her decisions as far as Shiro was concerned by that point.
I apologize. I do feel that given the conversation we had prior, her and I have failed in a duty that I had promised. While I agree she may just need time, that time will not undo the fact that I failed myself as well as.
Well, I said it before. It's still true. The path that you faithful choose is a noble one and a difficult one.
I will not disagree with you there. And Grun will raise a tankard, chug it down.
Well, Gaelen will join him. Yeah, always.
Yeah, as we've done before, we'll drink some of the worries away.
Skippy will turn his nose up at the beer in front of him. It tastes yucky.
That's what I said for the first, keg or two?
Would you prefer a different drink, Skippy?
Yeah, I like milk.
Just milk.
Can you put stuff with it?
I'm sure you could if you set your mind to it.
Okay. Yeah. What are we gonna do about that guy? Should we go talk to him?
Nope. I think that if he wanted to talk to us, or she wanted to talk to us about him, then they would. Tonight is to, and Grun's gonna probably start slurring very heavily and not making any sense.
Are you going to do some dancing tonight, King Grun?
Well, that you've suggested it, so there will be some dancing upon tables now. Grun's that kind of drunk. He's a very easy drunk and a very easily suggestible drunk.
Skippy will join him dancing on the table. That looks like fun. And he's got a new dance, so.
Well, Galen's not going to let him dance alone.
Oh, good. So the three heavy drinkers in the common room start dancing on the tables. And you're surprised to see that several elves in the inn are also joining you in dance, although not necessarily on the tables, but around the tables and becomes quite a festive atmosphere. Some bards take out their instruments and begin to play a happy tune that everybody gets really into. Ari and Fredwin, is there anything that you'd like to share at this point?
Not really. I don't think so. We're like just hanging out in our room and ignoring the world.
Okay. So the night passes uneventfully, and you guys wake up in the morning.
That's always a good sign.
Are we going to roll for hangovers?
Not for Skippy.
Are you sure, Skippy? Because they could have mixed you up something with the milk.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. He likes to keep his faculties about him.
Gaelen, Grun, can you give me con saves, please? Oh, Grun, you're feeling it.
Yeah. Figured.
Freddie and I did not get hammered.
Okay. Gaelen, you're pretty used to drinking heavily, so yeah, you're not feeling any ill effects in the morning. Oh, the night does not pass uneventfully. Gaelen, you step outside to go to the tattooist's, which isn't too far away. It's like a 5-minute walk from where you guys are. And you come to a shop called Velinyara's. You can see that through the dark windows that there are racks of tailored clothing and a sign that offers tattoos and also some fabric art hanging in the windows and on the walls. But the shop is dark.
I will knock.
It's not long before you see somebody coming up from the back of the shop, and she opens the door just a little bit and says, "What do you want at this time?"
Well, good evening. I have a Eldritch Claw tattoo that is incomplete, and I was wondering if you could complete it.
A tattoo at this time of night?
What? I'm an elf. I barely sleep.
I barely sleep as well, yet I don't have many customers this late. Very well, come in. And she opens the door and allows you to enter.
Thank you kindly.
And she leads you towards the back, past racks and racks of clothing, and pushes back a curtain to a back room and says, "Come this way."
I do.
Can you give me a perception check, please? You step into the back room, and there's a strange smell back here. Not what you would expect in a tattoo parlor. It smells of meat.
Raw meat?
Yeah,
Like a fresh kill?
potentially.
Can I gain any insight off of her?
You can give me some insight, sure. She is moving towards the back and pulls out a long needle and says, "I have this magic needle to give tattoos." And you get the sense that this needle looks a little different from other magic needles that you've seen in the past used to make tattoos. And it doesn't sit quite right with you.
I'm gonna play along for now and just say, "All right, that sounds great," and I'm just gonna be ready at any at any moment to disarm her if I need to.
Okay. She waves to a chair and asks you to take a seat.
I will.
Because you are on guard, you can make an opposed grapple check.
That is athletics, yeah.
Or acrobatics, whichever's better.
Well, that's easy.
And she grips your arm and raises the needle, but you pull your arm away just as she jabs the needle through her own hand. Initiative. Okay, you're going first.
I don't get the sense that there's anyone else. Like, I'm on high alert for that too.
Give me a perception check. You are hearing something from behind another door, kind of a muffled voice.
Okay. I will not try and make as much noise as I can. And okay, well, let's punch her, or knee her.
Okay. Okay, that's a hit for 12 damage.
I'll spend a key, stunning strike. So it's a con save, DC 14.
Okay, so that just adds on to the hit that you already made.
Yeah, I have to hit in order to be able to do it. and then it's a con save DC 14 or she's stunned.
Oh, stunned, eh? Okay, I don't see anything about being immune to stunned, so I will roll that.
Good. What is she that she's immune to, could possibly be immune to?
She's immune to stun this time,
Okay, I'll attack again.
and an 18 hits.
Spend a key, stunning strike.
And she saves again.
Spend a key, flurry.
Okay, and a 15 misses. Oh, does a flurry give you 2 extra attacks?
It does.
Okay, the 16 hits.
Spend a key, stunning strike.
You're just eating those keys up like candies. And you said the DC was 14, right?
Yes.
All right, she's still not stunned.
Jeez.
Anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's my 4. That was 4, yeah? Yeah, that was 4.
Yeah, that was 4. All right, make an acrobatics check. She once again attempts to grab you. She's pulled the needle out of her hand and tries to grab your arm and fails to do so. And you watch as the needle wound that she had made in her hand seals up now that the needle is out, and some of the wounds that you caused also seem to regenerate. And the bruising that you're causing her looks darker than usual. And it's your turn.
Okay, I'll attack.
Okay. That's a miss. That isn't. Okay, so she takes the hit. Doing anything else?
I'll spend my last key to flurry.
Okay. Did you just crit her twice in a row with that?
You bet.
Damn.
Wow.
Anything else? She's still up, but she's looking in pretty bad shape. Wait, did you just roll another attack? I thought you...
The first 2 attacks were my normal attacks, and the second 2 were
Okay.
flurry.
Okay.
I'm hoping 7 drops her.
Not quite. She's teetering on her feet, but lunges at you with the needle.
And that is my turn.
There's an 18 hit.
Yes.
+7. Oh my.
Okay, you take 6 points of damage as she jabs this needle through your bicep, and you feel cold radiating from the wound. And make an acrobatics check. And this time you don't get away, as she pulls the needle through and clamps her hand onto your arm, and the needle punches through her own hand. And she smiles at you. And it's your turn. And at the start of your turn, please make a con save DC 15.
I'll use my inspiration.
Okay. Oh, good thing. All right, you are not paralyzed, and it's your turn.
She's gonna wish I was.
Ouch. It's a curious sensation when your fist connects with her, and you watch the ripples of your fist's impact run through her body and through the thread that she has connected you with and into your own body, and you take 12 points of damage.
I will try and escape her grapple.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to pull away from her.
And I will make my single bonus attack.
Okay, that's a miss.
I'm done.
Okay, she is again thrusting her needle at you. Oh, but she stumbles and drops the needle. That's going to be it for her turn.
Okay, I'll pick up the needle and I'll kick her face.
Okay.
What?
So many crits. Okay, she's still up.
I'm just double checking. It is not set to auto crit. Obviously, I've missed some.
Yeah.
Kick her face.
Goes down. Falls like a heap amongst the various tools of the trade in the back here.
Kick her face a few more times.
That's probably a good call. And you kick her a few more times until you're sure she's absolutely never getting up.
So that bruising makes me feel like this is undead.
Yeah, as you beat her head into a pulp, you are seeing black blood running from the wounds.
Okay, so if I'm confident with that overkill, I'll leave it at that. If I'm not confident with that, I will sever. I'll remove her head.
Yeah, you're not seeing her regenerating at all anymore.
I will take a moment to breathe, and then I will go over to where I heard those noises from.
Okay, yeah, there's a door.
I will listen very carefully.
Okay, given your previous role, it's pretty easy to hear. There's somebody back there. You're not understanding what they're saying, but you can definitely hear a muffled voice.
Muffled like they might be gagged?
Could be.
Okay, I'll open the door.
You see a staircase going down. It's dark down there, but, you've got dark vision, so it's fine.
I'll close the door.
Without going down?
Yep.
Okay.
I will grab the body of this thing and drag it out the front door with me.
Okay.
And I will drag it back to the tavern and toss it at the gates where the guys were standing guard.
Okay. Yeah, they even as you're approaching, they're looking at you curiously, and you drop this body, and they're like, "What's going on here?"
You have undead inside your walls. You need to step up your security.
It's impossible. Where did you find this thing?
I'll walk back to the tavern.
You're not telling them where you found the undead?
Nope.
Okay.
And I'll go up to Skippy's room.
Okay. Skippy is fast asleep.
Wake up, my friend.
What?
I just had a fight with an undead thing, and I think there might be someone that needs our help.
I spring out of bed. What? An undead thing? In the tavern?
Not in the tavern. Just a short walk from here.
Okay. I wake up Jigsy and
I will also wake Grun.
Oh, let's find out if or not. We hammered. Yeah, you wake Grun. It's not that hard.
I will knock on Freddy and Aries' door.
I will answer the door, looking about as pleased as I have looked for the last several days.
I suppose Gaelen doesn't look great. He's about half dead. I just had a fight with some sort of undead creature that was quite difficult, actually. And they may have someone in danger in that building, so I'm going back to check on them.
So they're not here?
The undead? The undead is dead.
And no, big waves of anything, liches hanging around?
I don't think so. I hope not.
Are the guards undead?
You mean like the city guards? Not that I've noticed.
Mm-hmm. Then maybe you should be waking them up, and I will shut the door.
I will head back to the tailor/tattooists.
Okay. The building is as you left it.
Go back, open the door.
so this is where you were?
Yes, I fought the creature right here.
What did it look like?
Looked like an elf.
So you fought an elf here?
Oh, right. I was asking, did it look like an elf?
Oh, yes, it did look like an elf.
Yes, it looked like an elf.
How do you know it was undead?
Oh, it was undead.
But how do you know?
Well, it bruised up all strangely. It was healing quickly, and it stabbed me with this stupid needle. And kind felt like I kicked myself in the face.
But how do you know it wasn't just like a monster? That bruise is weird.
So
Or
gooey
maybe
inside,
it was gooey inside? What do you mean it was gooey inside?
oozy, black.
Oh.
I'll
Okay.
open the door to the basement
Okay. There's stairs down to the basement.
and head on down.
So down here, you see two things odd. The first is on the far wall as you're coming down the stairs, you see what can only be described as a stitched up horror on a table. And to your right, you see a woman bound to a chair, her mouth gagged, and you see a cut on her forehead that is bleeding black. And she stares at you imploringly.
Ken Grun.
Yes, let me look at her, and I will use Eyes of the Grave.
And what does that do again?
As an action, you know the location of any undead within 6 feet of you that isn't behind total cover and that is protective divination.
She is undead.
What about the thing stitched up?
Not undead.
Not. I haven't had a long rest either, have I? Used all my.
No.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna inform everybody. She's an undead. Should turn her what we have.
Can I gain any insight when he says that out loud to me from her?
Sure, you can give me an insight check. She looks scared, and she's kind of like shaking her head, like, no.
King Grun, what about that thing? And gesturing towards the stitched up thing.
It does not have signs of undead. It looks more like golem flesh.
Is the woman bound, like, are gagged?
Yes.
Maybe we should take the gag off and ask her.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Why?
I don't like the idea of taking any chances with undead, even if they're newly undead and could be saved. What do you think, King Grun?
I've heard of magics that can prevent undeath, but none that undo death, as far as I know. Turn being saved.
You see now that she has tears coming from her eyes, and she's whimpering.
The only other thing we could do, speak to the priests of, or what was the god that
Coralin.
Corlin? Priest there. If there's one more powerful than I, they may know of a way to help her.
And at that, she's shaking her head violently.
My dear, it's them or I.
She's looking at you pointedly and nodding. Sorry, you broke up there?
No, that's me groaning, not wanting to do what Grun wants to do, which is ungag her.
Okay.
I will look to the others and I'll ask them, plug your ears just in case. So if I give you, if I seem to act strangely or anything, attack her.
I plugged Jinxie's ears.
All right, King Grun. If you think this is the way to go, Gaelen will plug his ears.
I'll look at Skippy, gag her, and then plug his ears for him.
Okay. You remove the gag. She says, Thank you. Please don't hurt me. I swear, I'm not here to hurt any of you. I'm not here to hurt anyone in the city.
No, but the undead have no other place to turn but the sustenance of living. If you don't tend it, you will still bring harm, even if it's later when your mind is gone.
My mind has been intact for over 1,000 years. Please, I am not going to turn into a mindless undead. Venya made sure of that. Please don't hurt me.
Venya, at that, I will, I'll unplug Skippy's ears and motion to Gaelen's ears as well.
Well, he'll unplug his ears.
So we're not killing her?
Well, she just mentioned a name, Venya, former follower of Dowreth, who left his service, not of her own will, to serve a lich, the source of the current undead army. And apparently she is one of Venya's creations. She says she's maintained her consciousness over 1,000 years. Well, it's definitely a conversation you two should hear.
Okay.
Venya is the name that Lucius keeps talking to.
Apparently, she's been corrupted by him, and he uses her to further his purposes. She was a priestess of Dowreth, so undeath is a specialty of theirs.
So Venya is a prisoner of Lucius, not a friend.
Correct. And this woman, creature, being here, claims to know her and have been influenced some way by her, so I wish to continue to speak with her.
Please, my name is Eleanor. Please do not refer to me as a creature.
My apologies. I've never dealt with an undead which had any consciousness beyond a single-minded one.
King Grun, so you're certain that she's undead?
My powers tell me so. And
is there a such thing as an undead that shouldn't be dispatched immediately?
Not usually. However, one, if what she says is true, that has lived 1,000 years and retains its sanity and is not possibly, who knows, is, does not seem to be a lich. It's something I've never something I've never heard tell of.
I turn to the lady and say, "How do we know you're not like the thing that attacked Gaelen?"
Because Volsimia is the one who attacked him, and she also bound me here. I don't know if this can be offered as proof, but Valeniara, the owner of this shop, her body is over there. And she kind of juts her chin out to the cupboards off to the side.
I'll go check the cupboard.
And you find a dead elven woman.
How long dead by the looks of her?
Not even a day.
I'm going to check her bindings. Are they strong?
Eleanor's? Yeah. Yes, they are.
And what's this creepy thing on the table?
Volsimia, her nickname is the Death Stitcher. She is one of the most vile followers of Glithor, and she literally stitches the bodies of the dead together to create golems.
Skippy, would you mind disassembling this thing?
Okay. He'll pull out his dagger and basically start field dressing it.
Okay, yeah, pieces of it fall off to the floor, and you take it apart.
Very cool.
Well, now what, King Grun?
Well, now I would ask some questions of you, Eleanor. What exactly happened to you that allowed you to exist this long the way you have?
Well, that is quite the tale. I don't suppose you'd untie me so I could at least tell it in comfort?
It's not going to happen, noble Eleanor.
No.
Very well. My story starts on a continent far from here, a place called Oos. And back when my life began, I was living, and the liches had not yet brought darkness to our lands. I was slain along with my husband, Hogarth, and Venya brought us back and gave us what she called the gift of everlasting life. We were still conscious beings. We still had all of our dreams and desires with less of the heart behind them. But it was better than what Lucius offered, which was no offer at all. He would simply kill and bring back and kill and bring back, creating an army of mindless undead, where Venya cultivated a loyal following, and we continued to live amongst ourselves. And as they made their way across Oos, she would send more people back to live with us, and we had an entire civilization without hunger and strife. It was, I don't want to say better than what we had before, but it was different and not as awful as I might have thought before it happened to me. And we lived that way for countless years. But it all changed recently when the portal was opened.
What portal?
Travel between Oos and Drac used to be free-flowing. The Wizards of the Age had created a portal that would travel back and forth between the continents. And it was closed when the liches began to dominate Oos. They were content with what they had and sought no further wars, for they knew that the wizards and priests in Drac were formidable, and to launch an invasion on this continent would be, well, potentially devastating to them. So some heroes, I suppose you might call them, from Drac entered the portal when they found it and confronted Lucius and Venya. Lucius dealt with them harshly, summoning his undead armies, and turned them to be new warriors for his armies. He located the portal and began an invasion of Drac.
How did the invasion end?
It's still ongoing.
How long ago did this happen?
Not long, perhaps 3 months ago. It's hard to keep track of the days. My husband was more of the journaler and kept track of everything that he did. I miss him so.
You lost him recently?
No, Hogarth and I, well, we came through the portal. We thought it was what Venya would want, to have some of her loyal followers on this side. If Glithor is found and revived, he will destroy Venya permanently. We do not want that. So my husband and I crossed the portal and entered a place called the Kingdom of the Sun, unseen. We studied in the libraries there, ancient libraries that apparently have been forgotten, and we found nothing to mention the fate of Glithor. Drac is a large place, and so Hogarth went north, and I came south, trying to find what we could and end the threat to Venya.
I too seek to defeat Thor. I could use any insights that you have found into him in this task.
I'm not sure what insights I can offer, really. I had no direct dealings with Glithor. His only goal was more power. He cared nothing for any of the undead that followed him. I don't think he even cared about Lucius and Venya, despite teaching them how to become liches themselves.
Sorry, it was Lucia that I need thinking.
Oh, yes. Lucius is power mad. He sees the living as a scourge and only wants to destroy them all and create his own empire. But he also seeks Glithor with a single-minded vision. For if he raises Glithor up once more, the two of them will be unstoppable. At least that is my belief now that I have come to Drac and seen how power has been lost over the many centuries since the previous war.
Do you have any idea how he intends to revive Thor?
First he needs to find him. Where he wound up, we have no idea, for the Canopy King took his remains away from Oos. I'm not sure if that was a stroke of brilliance or just dumb luck, for liches can be reborn if their bodies are destroyed. With Glithor taken but not killed, he cannot cause harm.
Well, that does sound like a stroke of luck indeed.
So is Venya a lich too?
She is something worse now. A lich is in control of their faculties. They are free thinking and chose what they are. Venya's mind was broken, and she has become,
A puppet.
yes, she is what is referred to as a demi-lich, and her mind is simply not there. I had hoped once that we might be able to free Venya and destroy form now, that she might return to her phylactery at full strength, in control of her mind and able to fight against Lucius. But Lucius never lets go of her, never gives her even a foot of freedom, and I fear it is impossible.
First of all, Lucius isn't all that tough. He went up against us and ultimately had to flee like a coward. That said, do you think that Venya, even though she's a semi-lich, could be turned against Lucius?
If her current form is destroyed, I hope so. I'm honestly, this is unknown territory to me. She might return again as a demi-lich and be lost to us forever. It's my only hope that somehow she can be freed from that, and her mind will be healed in her death.
Any tips on how to destroy a lantern?
The lantern is not the problem. Lucius has replaced the lantern many times over the years. The problem is destroying a demi-lich, which is a task I fear no one is suited for in these lands.
But Gaelen just did it by himself. I mean, didn't he? Didn't you just beat her up?
Oh, Skippy, no. This thing that I fought was not a demi-lich. I don't know what it was.
Oh, I thought that was...
No, I see what you've done. It's the names. This was, I believe you said Volsinia, the Death Stitcher. That's
Yes,
not the same as Venya.
Oh, okay. Well, she seems nice. We should let her go.
She's still an undead. I'm still loath to allow an undead to walk freely, despite your consciousness, despite your apparent freedoms. Who's to say you could not end up like your master? Or should your master be lost, that your mind also would not be lost and you would fall?
I am no lich. I cannot become a demi-lich. I am a far simpler form of undead, given life, unlife, whatever you want to call it. It's not my fate to wind up like Venya.
Are you immortal?
I think I might be. I've been alive so long, I feel I must be.
Can't imagine what horrible things you must have done to deserve that.
I'm sorry? You think I did horrible things?
To be forced to live forever? Can't imagine what bad things you must have done to be cursed that way.
It was nothing that I did. It was just that the liches came and they snuffed out life where they found it. I feel lucky that it was Venya who found me and not Lucius or Glathor. I don't see it as a punishment for anything that I did while I was alive.
Still, your turn to move on had arrived. Your soul should have passed. That was prevented, tainted. No matter the intent behind it, no matter what was given, what was taken was unnatural, as is the existence you now hold.
In the kingdom of Dowreth, my existence is what all undead would hope for. Not the undeath that Lucius provides, but a chance to live, to enjoy the company of others that I have loved for eternity. There is no darkness in that.
Do I get any insight into the truthfulness of the things she's been sharing?
Sure, give me an insight check. From her point of view, you think she's telling the truth. Same with you, Grun.
Yeah.
Am I done dissecting this body yet?
Oh, yeah, you've been done for a while.
Well, I don't know. He would have gone pretty deep on it.
Maybe you're just finishing up then.
Is there anything unusual about the body? I mean, besides it being stitched together, but was there anything like in my forensic dissection of it? Did I come across anything weird?
There are no bones.
Well, that's unusual.
I think that qualifies as weird.
Hey guys, this thing doesn't have any bones. I wonder what she did with all the bones.
Eleanor points her chin at another cupboard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe don't look, Skippy.
What was clean is now covered from head to toe in the remains of human elf miscellaneous.
Yep.
You got rid of that horrible perfume smell?
Yep. So, again, do we kill her?
I was just about to ask that. King Grun, I'm just confused. I don't understand the undead generally. I just hit things. If you tell me I'm supposed to kill her, I will. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Well, that might have something to do with the fact that I don't know what to do. Anything I ever thought about the undead seems to be being, well, use the rhyme, thrown on its head. And I'm not even sure where I stand anymore.
Please, we have the same goal. We want Lucius to be stopped. I know what he's after, and I'm trying to stop him.
We know what he's after, too. What do you think he's after?
Knowledge of Glathor. He discovered that there are ancient texts in Drac, some of which may hold information about Glathor. He seeks a book that will tell him of the final resting place so that he can bring Glathor back.
Who would know how to read these texts?
I'm afraid I don't know what language they would be written in. I just know that that's his first avenue is to find the texts, and I'm not sure what he'll do if he doesn't get his hands on them.
Out of curiosity, what languages can you read?
Me? I've studied a few over the years. I can speak and read Halfling and Gnomish, Common.
Ah, Mazel Tov, I say in Halfling.
She smiles at you and repeats the greeting. And I have even learned some of the arcane language, and abyssal and such.
No ancient languages?
I suppose they might be considered ancient since I learned them so long ago. I'm not sure.
I'm just curious. Well, I don't think I can kill her.
Noble Eleanor, what would you have us do with you?
If you release me, I will continue on my quest to stop Lucius.
I feel like she's being honest, King Grun, so I am very confused.
Yes, and I'm like RL having a really hard time thinking this through right now.
Gaelen, it doesn't sound like you can kill her either. Otherwise, you would just do it. And I don't think Grun can kill her because he would just do it.
I was gonna say I don't think Grun has it in him to effectively commit cold-blooded murder at this point.
King Grun, can I ask you to do something difficult?
Why not another thing? Yes.
See if your deity can guide you on this.
Yeah, we could do that. I'm gonna ask though, can we do that another time? Because I don't think I really have it in me right now.
So my plan was, first thing in the morning, to go and have a conversation with my uncle and give him his sword back and tell him where to stick it. And then to tell the other folks in the party to split out mine and Freddie's loot from everybody else's because we're leaving.
Okay, Galen would suggest that Grun and Skippy head back, and he would just keep an eye on, so that Grun could get the remainder of his sleep and do his prayers, and Galen would just keep an eye on Eleanor.
Okay.
Okay. I will head back then.
Yeah, that'll work. Grun will go back to the tavern, attempt to shake off the rest of his drunkenness. Dowreth.
So yeah, you guys get up in the morning. Eleanor is still there. She hasn't made any attempts to escape or anything. And you guys all meet up downstairs. Your Uncle Clor is surprised when you return the sword to him in such a manner and extremely apologetic that things have turned out the way that they have.
Yeah. Well, the apologies aren't really very helpful at this moment. So.
And you mentioned that you wanted the party funds and stuff divided out 5 ways so that Ari and Fred can have their portion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that won't be a problem. I think Grun, you've been taking care of the party fund stuff, right?
Yeah, I'll remove 2/5 of what's there.
And I, as a parting gift, would like very much to say to Grun that it seems we're both oath breakers now.
Indeed, and I shall pay for my sins upon the wall.
If you don't pay for them with eternal life, I'll be surprised. And then I'm going to walk away.
Okay, so I think that's where we're going to wrap it up for now. Next time, Gaelen, Grun, and Skippy can continue to interrogate Eleanor if they so wish, or set her free.